first presidential debate appearance tonight, but he is certainly on top when it comes to spending. Joining me is Ron Hart, the national columnist. Mike Bloomberg pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into Super Tuesday. Every time I go to YouTube or I go anywhere on social media, Bloomberg, is looking like General George C. Marshall.
Yeah, $230 million. It's great that we live in a country where two white billionaires can become president. It's
It's crazy how that's happened, hasn't it?
Exactly. One way to be a bad billionaire is with a good billionaire, I guess, is what the Democrats figure. He spent $230 million so far. The next closest in the Democrat Party is Bernie Sanders at $10 million. He dwarfs that money. And he hasn't been interviewed yet, which will be interesting how he does in the debate tonight, because you can fancy with Madison Avenue a nice little image with $230 million with ads only. When he gets on stage, it'll be a different ballgame.
President Trump has said all along that he'd love to face Bernie Sanders. Do you take him at face value on that?
Bernie, yes. I don't think he wants Bloomberg. I think Bloomberg's going to be tougher, But Bloomberg's 77. He's getting up there. At that age, with $55 billion, you just retire and spend more time with your money.
Do you see Biden any flyback for him at all?
Not really. He lost in New Hampshire. He told people after New Hampshire he would make it up to him by doing well in Iowa. So I don't know. I think Biden's lost it. I think it's unfortunately he's just. I feel sorry for him a little bit. He was the natural politician, and what we've proven with Trump is that people are tired of natural politicians. They want something from the outside. Advantage Bloomberg.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. Initially, the commissioner thought that he had this under control, but I am of the opinion that he should resign.
Right.
I think he should go. When you call the commissioner's trophy a piece of metal, when you don't understand the gravity of what has transpired with the Houston Astros, you got to go. I think he's cloistered in a New York City building, and I think he does not have a clue about this brush fire that's in front of him.
Yeah. He's you're waiting and waiting, and nothing happens. It's just almost like baseball itself. Surveillance has become our national pastime. Apparently, surveillance. Dusty Baker, I like him a lot. They won the championship. The Astros
70 years old.
Yeah, I like Dusty. But
they've got a tough job.
But no one's really taken a fall on this, and I think Marquez of the Braves was the most vocal on it. They're pretty tough on it. People are mad about this.
How about Ryan Newman walking out of the hospital today after the crash at Daytona earlier in the week? Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Trump was the Grand Marshal, right, of the Daytona 500.
Does that get your attention that maybe polling is still not as tight as it ought to be when you see him get the kind of reaction at Daytona that he did?
Yeah. I was at the LSU-Alabama game when he came in. Look, the South loves the guy. We're Republicans in the South. Anywhere south of Kentucky, right around Cincinnati.
We're going purple, though. I think we're going to see some changes in the state legislature, particularly here.
Yeah, there might be, but they love Trump and they love their NASCAR. Look, imagine if you're Trump, you live in Washington, D.C., which voted 95% for Hillary. You live in New York City, or did live in New York City, which is like 80% for Hillary. It's nice to come south where you're appreciated. It's got to be a tough environment in Washington, D.C. for a Republican.
All right, Ron. Anything else? That's pretty much it?
That's all I got.
All right. That's a lot.